Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. In today's video, we are going to continue the animal radical. As we mentioned before, in the last video, there's quite a lot of animal radical in the hanzi system, and I picked 8 of them because these 8 radicals, they are quite commonly used in the hanzi system and they are pretty practical. And in the last video, we already talked about the 4 of them. In today's video, we're going to continue to talk about the other 4 of them. So without further ado, let's get started. Now let's get the 田字格 ready and the pens ready. The very first animal radical we're going to talk about today is 马. Usually it's on the left side, and sometimes it would be on the bottom. And this is the horse radical. And the horse radical is related to the action that's related to horse and the quality or the personality that's related to horse. Okay, now let's get to the first type, the action. So when you think of horse, we would think about horse riding, right? Horse riding. 骑 meaning to ride. For example, to ride a horse. 骑马 骑 to ride 马 horse 骑马. And we can also say ride a bicycle 骑 So bicycle, there's 2 words. The first one is 自行车. So 自行车 could be the bike, or you can say 单车 单车 it's also bike. They're exactly the same thing. The only difference is 自行车 might sounds a little bit more northern, and the bike and the 单车 sounds more southern. Okay, then move to the next one is 驾驶 驾驶. And then you would see the horse radical at the bottom and horse radical on the left. And 驾驶 meaning to drive. This is a very proper word for driving. And this is the word to go on the paperwork. So to say driving license, we would say 驾驶证 证 meaning license. So 驾驶证 is the driving license. And also you can say the driver which is 驾驶员So 驾驶 is the drive, 员 is the people. So the people that drive is the driver. I know you learned another word for driver, and that is 司机. 司机 is also the driver. But these two, the 驾驶员 just sounds super official. And the 司机 sounds just a little bit more casual. Moving on to the next character, it's 驰. 驰 could mean to run. Normally it's run really fast, and usually it's referring to horse or car, etc. I have a word for you. 奔 驰. So this word 奔 is to run, and 驰 is also to run, and they are together. They are really running fast. I want to point out this word because actually 奔驰 is the Chinese name for a very famous car brand. It's a European car brand. And let's narrow down a little bit. It's a German car brand. And the 奔驰 is the Chinese name for Mercedes, because that is Mercedes Benz. We have a full translation name for Mercedes Benz, that is 梅赛德斯奔驰. But in everyday life, we just make it short and we call it 奔驰 for this. And that's the logic of how do we translate the foreign name to a Chinese name. So we take the sound from the foreign name and then find a word that could match the sound. And more importantly, that hanzi should come with a good meaning, or the meaning can explain the purpose of that thing. Moving on to the next character, that is 骗. 骗 meaning lie or fraud. Wait a minute. Lie and fraud, is it have something to do with the horse? Well, it's a very long evolution story, but just to make it short, the original meaning of 骗 is that to get on the horse. Because this part, it means depart, move from one place to the other. Because think about it, when you are getting on the horse, you move yourself from where you stand to get on the horse. And 骗, that's the original meaning, is to get on the horse. But after thousands of years of evolution, it just extend to away from the truth. This is a big extension, right? From get on the horse, extend to mean away from the truth. So away from the truth, that means lie and fraud. Let's say he lied to people. He lied to people, that is 骗人. Lie to people. And the liar is 骗子, which is the liar. Moving on to the next character, and we just mentioned that the horse radical is also related to the quality of the horse. And let's talk about the quality. Jiao meaning proud. In the ancient time, when people choose a horse, a good horse should be strong and tall and look proud. And yep, so that's the quality of a horse. So proud can be good and bad. What about this one? Yeah, and this one could also be the proud for good and bad. And there's a word we say jiao ao. Jiao ao is a word. It's the word for proud. And 骄傲 could be good and bad, kind of proud. But how do we know, is it in a good way or in a bad way? Well, you would know about it based on the context, just like in English. And then moving on to the next one, forgot to mention this. The third thing is the horse-like animal. Horse-like? Well, here's the example. Luo. 驼 骆驼 is a camel. The horse and the camel, they look quite similar. And you might notice on the right part of the 驼, this is the 它 for the it. Okay, the next animal, Lü. Lü is the donkey. Moving on to the next animal radical, that is 牛, which means ox, cow, and normally it's on the left side of the character, and sometimes it would be on the bottom, like this. Okay, so it could refer to the action that's related to ox. And secondly, it's also related to the quality or personality that's related to ox. Okay, let's get to the first one. Mu, to herd cattle or to shepherd. As for the mu, I want to point out you need to be careful with the right part. So the right part, it goes this. This way. And it's different from the this. This is the one, which means language or literature. For example, 中文 中文. But this one is different from the one. On top of it, the one is a dot with a horizontal stroke. And this one is a left falling and a horizontal stroke. And as for this one, it's related to the hand and hitting. Okay, so let's go back to the mu. So you have an ox or cow and with the hand hitting. So herd cattle, shepherd, that all makes sense. Let's get to some example. Mu, 牛. Okay, so 牧牛 is to herd the cattle. And we can also say 牧羊, which means to shepherd the sheep or goat. And we can also say 牧场. 牧 is to herd. 场, we just learned about it in the dirt radical videos. This is the dirt radical. So the dirt radical is related to the dirt or ground. So the 场, which means a place. So herding place, it could mean a farm. But the farm to raise animal. Not the farm to grow food. It's the farm to raise animal. Mostly refers to the farm that raise ox, cow, sheep, or goat. Moving on to the next one. This is 里. You can see the ox radical is at the bottom part. And the 里 meaning to plowed. Like to plow the field, we can say 犁地犁地 is to plow the field like this. Because in the ancient time, people don't have a machine to plow the field, and they would use an ox to plow the field. I think it's interesting to learn about the li a little bit more. That is on top part of it. This is the li. So it obviously serves as a sound radical in the li, but the meaning of it means benefit. So I think if it brings the meaning to the li, it also makes sense, because once you plowed the field, it really benefits the field. It's beneficial to grow some fruit or food on the ground. Move on to the next character. Wu. And the wu meaning things. But wait, things? Is there anything related to the ox or the cow? Actually, it did. Here's the origin of the wu. And in the ancient time, it refers to things hitting other things. Back to the ancient time, ox is one of the most important animals to help people to work on the field, to work on the farm, to work on the mountain, etc. So when the ox work, the ox is dragging the machine to hit on the field. That's the origin of the wu. But after thousands of years of evolution, and then it extends to just thing, not one thing hitting the others. Well, there's a lot of modern words come with the wu. Let me show you some example. The first one is shi wu. Okay, so the shi meaning eat, wu meaning things. The things to eat that make food. And the next one is dong wu. Dong meaning move, wu meaning things. So the thing that could move is the animal. And the next one is zhi wu. The zhi on the left side, this is the wood and tree radical. We just talked about it in the wood and tree radical videos. And the zhi is related to wood or tree, and the zhi means to plant. Wu is things. So the thing to plant, that is just the plants. And the next one is 文 wu. 文 meaning the language or the literature, or it could refers to culture. Things. So the literature things or the cultural things that could make the historical heritage. And there's a lot of 文物 in the museum. Move on to the next one. 人 物. Okay, 人 people, 物 things. People things? Well, it's like the people, that kind of a thing, kind of playing a role somewhere. So 人物 could mean a character or a role. And usually we're talking about the 人物 in a show or a program. And moving on to the next one. 礼 物 礼 is the manner or the adequate, and 物 is the things. Okay, so the things that shows manner or the things that shows the adequate, that would be the gift. Okay, let's moving on. And we just mentioned that it could also refers to the quality and personality that's related to the ox. So when you think of the ox can be, let me show you. Oh, it's a big word. 犟, and 犟 meaning stubborn. Okay, so it looks quite complicated. Let's take a look at it. On the top part of the 犟, it's, let me write it a little bigger so you can see. This is 强. Obviously, you can see, ooh, it serves as a sound radical to the 将. It gives the yang sound to the 将. And the meaning of the 强 itself, it could mean strong. So if it brings the meaning to the 将, it also makes sense. It's a very strong ox. When the ox is strong, it goes to one direction. No one can pull him back. So we say this person is stubborn because no one can stop this person from doing something. No one can pull the person back. Yeah, so that's 犟 for stubborn. If you want to say, oh, he's very stubborn, then you can say 他很犟. "他很犟." He very stubborn. Moving on to the next animal radical, which is the 羊. It has several different forms. If it's on the left, it will look like this. And if it's on the right, it will look like this. And when it's on top, it will look like this. The original form of it, that is this. Yang. So these are the radicals, and this is the character. So the yang meaning goat or sheep. So the radical, so it's related to the goat or sheep animal, or as usual, it's related to the quality or personality of the goat. Now let's get to the example. 羚 羊 And then let's get to the next one. So the goat and sheep, they like to be together. Usually you would not see just one sheep or goat. You will see a bunch of them, right? And that's their personality. They like to be together. And that makes our next character. 群 群 meaning it's a measure word for a group of. For example, you say a group of people, that would be 一 群人 Okay, 一群人 a group of people. And then let's get to the next one. 祥 祥 it means lucky. Take a look at the 祥 on the left part of it. This is the radical that's related to adequate, or it's related to the ceremony. Or praying. Back to the ancient time, praying is one of the most important activity. Now we have the radicals that's related to the adequate, and we have a goat here. In Chinese culture, goat or sheep is a lucky symbol. Goat and sheep. The word with the 祥, we have 吉祥 吉祥 it just means lucky or bless. It's a very, very popular word to use in the Chinese New Year. And here's another word I would like to introduce to you. 祥云 祥 meaning the lucky. Yun is the cloud. So lucky cloud, 祥云. It refers to this special pattern in the Chinese culture. The 祥云 pattern is a very popular decoration pattern on clothes and things. Moving on to the next character. May. May, beautiful. So on top of the May, here we have the goat and sheep. And at the bottom part, this is 大, which means the big. So here's the evolution of this character, May. It's a people dancing with a decoration on his head. It could be the goat horn or just some beautiful feathers. Okay, so May is beautiful. We say May Li. Mei Li, just beautiful. Yep, there's a lot of Chinese girls' names have the Mei or the Li in it. Now let's get to the last animal radical in this video. And that is shi. It means the pig. Okay, wait. I know how to write pig. We know the animal radical. And then this is 猪. 猪 is pig. So why this one? Simply put that, this pig radical, it's really ancient. And this 猪 character is the modern. Now let's get to some word. So obviously, the pig radical is related to pig. Now let's get to some example. The first one is jia. Jia meaning home or family or house. On top of the jia, this is the rooftop or the house. And in the house, here is the pig. So literally, it says pig in the house. So why pig in the house? In the ancient time, pig is one of the most important meat source for people. And the people would raise their pig in the house to feed the family. So if you have a pig in the house, which means you're sufficient with food and you're rich. So pig in the house, that could represent a good life in the house. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you learned something from this video. If you have any thoughts about today's video, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. And if you want the practice sheet, you can download it from my website. I hope you enjoy your learning journey. I'm Mandy. I'll see you in the next video.